Today we are going to find some maximum value and minimum value of some expressions involving sine, cosine, and tangent. Okay. You need to remember. I'm going to teach you two methods. Okay. One method is for doing long questions, and then the other method is for doing MC questions. Okay. The method for doing multiple choice questions one will be actually much easier, but the steps is actually not very formal. If you use that method in the long questions, you will not get any step mark. Okay, so I'm going to teach you method 1 is for long questions. Method 2 is for doing multiple choice questions. It's okay. Okay, so let's do this. Do the method 1 first. It is more formal. So in fact, the question will ask us to find the maximum or the minimum value and the minimum value of the following functions. And then the functions will be involving either sine x or cosine x. Okay? There will be only one term with sine x or only one term with cosine x. If there is more one term involving sine x or cosine x, you need to simplify the expression first. Okay? But if like this, like question number 1, okay? Like question number 1, yes, sorry. There is only one sine x here. Okay, so y is equal to 3 times sine x. Okay, and then we will do this. 嗱，你抄低佢先。呢度啊，有4種情況嘅，好簡單嘅啫。嗱，如果咧，抄呢度先啊。Okay, so if the function is involving sine x only, okay, then we will start with this inequality. 如果條題目係淨係得 sin x 一嚿嘢嘅，我哋就會由呢一條不等式咧去到開始做啊。If it involves cosine x only, we will start with this inequality. OK， 得唔得？即係話咧，你一見到題目，要睇下係屬於以下邊一隻啦，就可以用邊一隻嘅款式咧，去到開始做數咯噃。OK， 陣間先話俾你聽點樣開始完之後點樣做啊。不過咧，我哋揀啱個開始先。仲有第3、第4隻嘅，好簡單嘅啫。If there is a sine square x in the question, okay, if there is a sine square x in the question, we will start doing the question from this, okay, from 0 to 1. Okay, the range of sine square x is between 0 and 1. And then, if it is cosine square x, it is also between 0 and 1. Okay, so actually sine x and cosine x will be symmetric. Okay, so what sine x can do, cosine x can also do that. What sine square x can do, cosine square x can also do that. It's okay, so they have the same pattern. So all you need to distinguish is between whether it is sine x or sine square x. Okay, whether it is cosine x or cosine square x. If there's a square, then the range is from 0 to 1. If there is no square, then the range is from -1 to +1. OK， 好啦，抄到未呢度？我哋永遠計呢啲 maximum value 啊、minimum value 嘅時候咧，都係由呢4個嘅其中一個去到開始做嘅，得唔得 ？OK， so we always start from one of the following 4 inequality. when we are doing the maximum values or minimum values, okay? But how to do? So let us start doing number 1. So let me clear this first. Number 1, y equals 3 sine x, okay? And there is nothing to be simplified. 但係我先話咧，如果有多過一個 sin x 嘅 term 嘅話咧，就要化簡先嘅。If there is more terms than only one sin x or more terms than only one cosine x, we need to do some simplify first. But there is only one term of sin x here, okay? Then we do not need simplifies. Then we go to the starting point. We start with this. Sin x is between -1 and 1, okay? And then, so what we're going to do is to try to build the function y, okay? To build the function y. So what is meant by building function y? Function y is 3 times sine x. And now I have sine x. So what do I need to do in order to get the function y? Is to multiply by 3, right? Okay, so I need to multiply by 3. And then we need to do the same thing on each part of the inequality, which means that I need to multiply 3 to the -1, that is -3, and then the middle part is 3 sine x, and then the right hand side is 1 times 3, that is 3. Okay, and then we after multiplying the 3, we have already come to 3 sine x. That is exactly equal to y. Okay, so we will change the middle part to be equal to y. 好啦，咁即係咩意思咧 ？y 係咪喺-3至3之間啊 ？Therefore, the maximum value of y is 3, and the minimum value of y is -3. That is the answer. It's okay? 得。So number 2， 嗱有陣時要小心啲喎，我做多幾題啊。今日做嘅嘢我冇預備到喺 Math App 裏邊交嘅 ，OK？ 咁你哋跟住做就得㗎啦呢度。因為今日咧其實好少嘢嘅，咁就亦都好少 DSE 好少會問嘅 ，OK？ 得唔得？佢最多都會喺 MC 裏面問嘅啫，其實咁樣。咁我而家呢度咧，即係唔同大家即係做好多住啊 ，OK？ 咁但係咧，我想令到大家係明白咗個步驟先 ，OK？Number 2， y is equal to -2 cosine x， OK？ Now we do not need to simplify the expression, okay? So nothing to be simplified, right? Then it is in term of cosine x. This function is in term of cosine x. So we start from the cosine x1, okay? So that is from -1 to 1. And then we try to build up the function, okay? 我哋要砌返個 y 出嚟。個 y 今次呢一題咧就係-2乘 cosine x 嘅 ，okay? It is -2 times cosine x, right? And now we start with cosine x. So what do we need to do to get the y? Is to multiply a -2, okay? It's multiplied by -2. But you need to be very careful here because it is an inequality. When you are multiplying a negative number to an inequality, then you need to change the inequality sign to be opposite direction, okay? So when you multiply -2 to the left-hand side, -1 times -2 is 2, okay? And then the middle part, cosine x times -2 is -2 cosine x. Then the right-hand side is 1 times -2, that is -2, okay? But because you have multiplied a negative number to the inequality, so you need to change the inequality sign to be is reverse direction. Okay, reverse direction. And then the middle part is already come to the destination. So you may change the middle part to be y. Okay, so 2 is larger than equal to y, is larger than equal to -2. Then the largest number will be the maximum value of y. And the smallest number will be the minimum value of y. Okay, so answering the question, the maximum value of y is 2， 係嘛？2係咪喺大啲嗰邊㗎？咁所以最大值係咪應該係2嚟嘅？唔好寫到-2喎 ，OK？ 唔好-2係最大，正2係最細咁樣做埋啲寫埋啲完全唔 make sense 嘅嘢噃，得唔得？睇清楚嗰個方向啊。And then minimum value of y is equal to -2. So that is the answer. It's okay? 好，呢度想你俾個反應我。If you're okay for question number 1 and number 2 and the steps, so please give me a like or a clap, please. Okay? If you understand question number 1 and number 2, please give me a like or a clap, please. 好，如果明白嘅，可唔可以俾個 like 或者俾個 clap 我 ？Okay, good. If you are not okay for any steps, please raise your hand. 如果有任何一個 step 係跟唔到嘅話咧，可唔可以舉一舉手俾我睇？有冇同學舉手？有冇同學需要講多一次？好，冇咯，咁我繼續落咯喎。So let me clear the board first. 好啦，嗱，跟住咧會有一啲即係多少少嘅計算過程嘅啫，但係個 concept 係一模一樣嘅。Okay, so let's go to instant example 1. Instant example 1. Okay, find the maximum and minimum values of y equals 2 sine x minus 1. Okay, so y is equal to 2 sine x minus 1. 係咪都係得一個 term 係有 sine x 嘅啫 ？OK， 冇其他 cosine x。或者唔會有兩個 term 係有 sin x 喺度嘅，咁嘅話我哋就唔使化簡啦，直接開始做啦，開始做嗰條不等式啦。Okay, so we can start the inequality directly because there is no other sine term or cosine term here to be simplified. Okay, this function is in terms of sine x, so we start with the sine x inequality. Okay, so that is -1 less than equal to sine x. Less than equal to 1. And then we try to build the function y. 嗱，呢度咧留意喎，佢呢度咧唔係淨係就咁樣一個 2 sin x 喎，係2 sin x minus 1喎。咁我哋要點樣諗咧？即係做邊樣先咧？我哋係望住咧個 sin x 先，由呢度開始做。同佢最親近嘅嗰個係乜嘢咧 ？sin x 最親近嗰個應該係咪乘咗個2先㗎？ OK， 乘咗個2先嘅，因為先乘隨後加減噶嘛，係咪？然之後咧，先至再減1嘅 ，get 到個次序啊！我哋要跟翻呢個次序嘅，得唔得？跟翻呢個次序，即係話咧 ，our first step， so we need to follow this order, this sequence. Okay, we need to multiply the 2 to the sine x first, and then for the second step, we need to subtract 1 from the 2 sine x. Okay, so for the first step, we multiply the 2 to every part in the inequality. So -1 times 2 is -2. And then sine x times 2 is 2 sine x. 1 times 2 is 2. And multiply by 2. 2 is a positive number. So we do not need to change the inequality sign. Just copy the inequality sign. Okay? And then, so we have 2 sine x now. And for the next step, we need to subtract 1 from the 2 sine x. So for the next step we need to do is to minus 1 from every part in the inequality. So -2 minus 1 is -3. And then 2 sine x minus 1, just write down the format. And then for the right hand side, it is 2 minus 1. that is 1. And again, when we add numbers or subtract numbers to the inequality, we do not need to change the inequality sign. So that is just less than equal to, less than equal to. Okay? Now, the middle part has come to the destination. So we change the middle part to be the function y. It's okay? And then the largest value will be the maximum value. Therefore, the maximum value is 1. Okay? And the minimum value is -3. So that is the answer. It's okay? Oh, let's do instant practice 1 together. Okay? Instant practice 1 together. 好，一齊做一個啊，跟住就到你哋做㗎啦。Find the maximum and minimum values of y equals 3 cosine x plus 2. So y equals 3 cosine x plus 2. Do we need any simplifications? No, because there's only one term with cosine x, one cosine term, okay? No sine term, no other cosine term to be calculated, okay? So we just start from the inequality. And this function is in terms of cosine x. So we start with the cosine inequality. -1 less than equal to cosine x, less than equal to +1. Okay? And then we analyze the function y. How can we build the function y from the cosine x? So the original cosine x is here. Okay? So which one is closest to the cosine x? Should be multiplied by 3 first. Okay? And then the next step will be +2. Okay? So we know the first step will be multiplied by 3. And then the second step will be +2. It's okay? That is our plan here, our plan. And after multiplying by 3, the left-hand side is -3. Middle part is 3 cosine x. Right-hand side is +3. Because what we are multiplying is a positive number, so we do not need to change the inequality sign. Okay, so just copy less than equal to, less than equal to. Okay, and for the second step, we need to add 2 to each part of the inequality. So -3 plus 2 is -1. And then the middle part is 3 cosine x plus 2. And then the right-hand side is 3 plus 2, that is equal to 5. And again, this step is to add numbers to the inequality. So we do not need to change the inequality sign, just copy. Okay? And now, the middle part has come to the destination. Therefore, we change the middle part to be just y. Okay? And then the largest number will be the maximum value. So the maximum value is 5. And the minimum value is -1. Okay? So that is the answer for this instant practice 1. Do you have any problems? So if no, I'd like you to do the classwork, the following classwork. So that is question number 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I give you 5 minutes for this. This one do not need to upload. Do not need to upload. Okay. careful about number 5 and number 6. Okay, let's check the answers. Number 3. So y is equal to -4 plus 2 sine x. 嗱呢度咧，我會建議你調一調位先嘅。It is positive 2 sine x minus 4, right? And then it is sine x, only sine x here, okay? So we are going to start with the sine x inequality. And then, so how to build the function is multiplied by 2 and then subtracted by 4, okay? So it should be multiplied by 2 and subtracted by 4. So for the first step, we multiply by 2, it becomes -2, and then 2 sine x, and then 2. Because 2 is a positive number, so we do not need to change the inequality sign. And then subtracted by 4 is -6, 2 sine x minus 4. 2 minus 4 is -2, and we do not need to change the inequality sign again, okay? And then this is y already. So it's -6 less than equal to y less than equal to -2. And then maximum value is -2, and minimum value is -6. So that is the answer, okay? And then for question number 4, so we have 2 cosine x minus 5. So we should start with the cosine x inequality and then build up the function. How to build? It's first multiplied by 2 and next subtracted by 5, okay? It should be like this, okay? For the first step, multiply by 2 is -2, 2 cosine x, 2. And we do not need to change inequality sign. And then -5 is -7. And then 2 cosine x minus 5. 2 minus 5 is -3. It's less than equal to. And then we have this change to y. Therefore, the maximum value is -3 and minimum value is -7. Okay, so that is the answer. Okay, and then number 5 and number 6.嗱呢度第5題咧，小心啲喎，留意下，打一粒星落去。OK， 即係6都係一樣，咁就唔係即係好咩嘅。咁但係有陣時一下唔為意嘅話咧，或者你自己去到諗點樣做嘅話咧，可能就會錯咗都唔定㗎啦。OK， there is only one cosine x here, so we will start with the cosine x inequality. -1 less than equal to cosine x less than equal to 1. OK， 好啦，嗱呢一個咧，我會建議你哋咧，好似頭先咁樣調一調位先。咁但係呢度調一調位嘅話咧，咁留意喎，呢個係-3 cosine x. When you move the cosine x term to the front, you need to move with the number before the cosine x. And when you move with the number before cosine x, you need to move with the negative sign, okay, before the number, okay, because it is a whole term, okay? And -3 cosine x and then +6, like this, okay? So if I write the expression like this, I can see that the step we need to do is to multiply by -3 and then +6. Okay, so first step is to multiply by -3, and the second step is to add 6. Okay, So when you multiply by -3, the -1 becomes +3, and then middle becomes -3 cosine x. 1 times -3 is -3. But this time, so what? Why I need you to put a star is that because you need to multiply a negative number to an inequality. So you need to change the inequality sign to the opposite direction. Okay, and then when you add 6, so it is 9. It's 6 minus 3 cosine x. -3 plus 6 is 3. And for this step, we do not need to change the inequality sign. Okay, and now I can change the middle part to be y. This time, the maximum value is equal to 9, and the minimum value is equal to 3. So that is the answer. Is that all right? Okay. And for question number 6 is exactly the same as question number 5. So let us swap the term first. 1 minus 4 sine x. Okay, sorry. 1 minus 4 sine x is equal to -4 sine x plus 1. Okay, and then if it is in this format, then we know that we will start with the sine x inequality. -1 less than equal to sine x less than equal to 1. Okay, and then what are the steps? So we need to multiply by -4 first and then add 1. First step, multiply by -4, and second step, need to add 1. Okay, and when you multiply by -4, -1 times -4 is 4, and middle part is -4 sine x. The right hand side is 1 times -4, that is -4. But this is a negative multiplication to inequality, so you need to change the inequality sign to be opposite. And then you need to add 1 to the inequality. 4 plus 1 is 5. And then middle part is 1 minus 4 times sine x. And the right hand side is -3. And when you add numbers to the inequality, you do not need to change the inequality sign. Okay? And now we come to the destination. So the maximum value is the largest number, that is 5. And then the minimum value is the smallest number, that is -3. So that is how we can find the maximum value and the minimum value of this type of functions. Is that okay? Tomorrow we are going to talk about this. Okay, talk more about this. Okay, but sometimes the function will be slightly more complicated. Okay, so do you have any problems for these few questions? If you are okay, please give me a like. Okay, if you are okay for these few questions, number 3 to number 6, please give me a like or a clap. Okay, if you are not okay, please give me a raise hand. 好，如果得嘅，請你俾個 like 或者係俾個拍手我。如果呢度唔得嘅，請你俾個舉手我。Okay, good. 有冇同學舉手 ？Okay, no. So I will stop here. So see you tomorrow. So you may leave now.